This is part 3, finding missing angles. So without looking back, can you take 30 seconds right now and fill in what is sine, what is cosine, what is tangent? If you completely forgot, you can look at the whiteboard over there. Hopefully you've got that. So, ka, toa. All right. So today we're going to be finding angle measures, which is obviously different than what we've been doing the last couple days because we've been finding sides. But the sides is like an intro to what we're doing today because we'll do the same process that you see over there. But then we're going to do the inverse, okay? So I'll explain more in a second. Let's go ahead and just do this like we've been doing it the last couple days. It says find both acute angle measures in each triangle. So we're going to solve first for angle, let's do angle C, okay? And I'm not going to label anything because it's already got a letter there. We'll call it angle C, okay? So if I'm looking from angle C, which two sides do I have currently? 5 and 7, those are the adjacent and hypotenuse. Okay, so we're doing the exact same thing we did the other days. A over H, follow with me, from C. This is degrees, okay? Because that's an angle. We just don't know what it is, right? A over H, sorry, I should use not red, from C. If that bothers you and you'd rather label it X, you can label it X, but I'm just calling it C. Okay, so that's the angle that we don't know, and now we're going to replace that. You know the name, right? What's A over H? Cosine. Cosine from angle, cosine of C, right? Cosine of C is equal to, okay, let's go ahead and replace what we know. What's interesting this time is today you will have both values here. What is adjacent? 5. What is hypotenuse? 7. Okay. So obviously your variable this time, since you don't know the angle and you know the sides, your variable is going to be the angle, not the sides. So now you have to find the angle. Okay. So you know how to do an equation like, let me undo this. If I have x plus 5 is equal to 4. How do you solve that equation? Subtract 5. Why do you subtract 5? Because. Why? That gets x by itself. Why? So we actually don't call it the opposite in math. We call it the inverse. The inverse operation of addition is what? Subtraction. What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. Inverse of lots of inverses. Inverse of squaring something is square rooting something. So to solve, you do the inverse. So if you were looking at this, we actually do have an inverse for trig functions. So if I have regular cosine, then I will do literally the cosine inverse to both sides, just like you, what was it? It was subtraction. Just like you subtracted to both sides a second ago, if I do cosine inverse to both sides, what that's going to do is, okay, look at back what you just had. What happens when I do the inverse of addition? I have plus 5 and I do minus 5. What happens? Cancels. Right? Because they're inverses. So what's going to happen over here? If I do the inverse cosine times the inverse cosine right here, what's going to happen? Cancels. Gets C by itself. So you do the inverse to both sides just like you've done for equations for years, okay? And then I get, okay, that C is equal to cosine inverse of 5/7. And you're probably thinking, what in the world? I don't know how to do that. Well, you don't have to. All this does is it reverses it, right? So you are going to input the ratio, and it's just using like that big trig sheet again. So it's telling you, okay, if you know what the ratio is, then it can find it for you, and then tell you what angle it is. So going backwards, on your calculator, maybe you see it. There is above cosine, do you see how it says cosine -1? That is the cosine inverse. So you'll click shift or second, whatever calculator you've got. And then this is important, especially in older models. You got to make sure you put this in parentheses, okay? So when I go to put it in my calculator, I need to do cosine inverse and then parentheses, 5 divided by 7. Unless yours automatically like puts it into a fraction, which some of the Casios do math type a little better. If this one is 44.4 degrees using the cosine inverse, sorry, I forgot the 0.4, hold on. And usually to the 10th place is what we want. Do I need to do that again? How do you find the third angle of a triangle? You know that this one is 90. Yeah, you're just subtracting. Okay, so add the two you have, subtract from 180. Can you please find the other angle? Because it's asking for both. We've been doing regular cosine, sine, tangent, where you input an angle and you output a ratio. Today, you're going to input a what? What do I put in to the inverse? A ratio. You put in a ratio, you get out an angle. So since it's the opposite, it goes backwards, okay? Oops, sorry. What do we get? 45, I was going to say, I can do the quick math in my head, but I don't really want to today. 45.6 degrees. I lost my thing. Okay, look at number 2. We'll do number 2 together. You do 3 on your own. So we'll go faster on this one. We will start by setting it up as we have before. So let's start with angle A. If I'm looking from angle A, then I have the opposite and I have the adjacent. You could look from angle B first if you'd rather. That's totally fine, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so O over A from angle A, which we don't know, is equal to O over A from angle A. So now replace. What's the name for that? SOHCAHTOA. What's the name? Tangent. Tangent from angle A is equal to, now replace it with what you know. Looking from angle A, that is 18 over 24. So same process, right? We've been doing this for days. But now, okay, you have a problem because you're trying to find, there it is. You're trying to find what angle A is. You can't like divide by tangent, that doesn't work. And so you have to apply the inverse to both sides, just like you've done in every equation ever in your life. So literally do the inverse to this side and the inverse to this side. That one will go in parentheses.
How do you do that again?
I did tangent. I just wrote like tangent inverse on both sides.
No, how do you do that?
Okay, so now on your calculator, so that cancels on the left, right, which is how you end up with A. Hold on. A is equal to tangent inverse of 18 over 24. In your calculator, you need to look above the tangent button, and you will see tangent -1, which stands for tangent inverse. So either shift or second, you do have it, and then you'll type in 18 divided by 24, or use a fraction button to make sure you type that in correctly. So now you know angle A is 36.9 degrees. Easy. Please remember that's an angle measure, and so it should have degrees. And to the nearest tenth is good for me. It's a weird sound. Okay. And now, how do you find the other angle? Just subtract. It would be a waste of your time to do inverses twice. Certainly you can. If you just really love trigonometry and you just want to trigonometry your way all the way through, then go for it. But I would rather subtract. So you could actually do 90 minus that angle because we know that the leftover, you have 90 degrees, there's 90 left over. 53.1 for angle B. Okay, can you please try the last one? I'll put the answers up on the board. Try it, and then you're going to move on to the worksheet, which you'll notice today is a mix of solving for sides and angles, so you need to use discretion as you solve. If it was me, I would just do the same process every time and then look at it and think, what am I solving for, angles or sides? Angles or not. I've got I think it rounds pretty much perfectly to that.